Hi, guys. Welcome back to another podcast episode of Get Loud with Leadership. Today I'm here with,
Grace Eli.
and today we're just going to be talking about breaking ties gracefully, outgrowing friendships, and just how to move on without there being drama. So
Yeah.
I think we've all, kind of experienced outgrowing certain people, or maybe, feeling like maybe this person just isn't for me anymore. But, how have you gone about taking care of that situation?
The last time I can remember me really having to cut off a friendship probably be around middle school, and of
Mhm.
course in middle school everything was so much more dramatic and
Right.
so much more crazy. But what I can remember is I'm not really the person for conflict, so I just slowly started to remove myself from the environment that the person was in that I was trying to get
Mhm.
away from. And as time goes, you can you know, break apart that friendship. But at the same time, that might not be the best way because the person might not understand that you don't want to be friends with anymore. So they
Right.
might just kind of try to keep pushing themselves onto you, and it just might, be a never ending loop.
Yeah, and I think it's understandable for someone to feel as though maybe it's time to remove a certain person out of their life, giving the people grow, people change, we're all not gonna be the same kids from middle school that
Yeah.
we've always been. People grow apart, lifestyles don't end up matching up anymore, and I think it really is all about how you go about executing that plan to relieve yourself from them, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So for me, I would say if I'm noticing that there's somebody that's maybe changing around me that I think is not influencing me in the best way possible or adding to my life, I think my way of doing things would be distancing sometimes, or having a talk or conversation with that person, just letting them know, hey, the things that you do don't really align with me or align with my life. You know, I just think it's best if we just end it here?
Yeah, I think that
Mhm.
it's kind of the best way, communication.
Oh,
But
yeah, communication is
yeah,
definitely key.
but I think if the person is not understanding where you're coming from, of course there's gonna be a little bit of back and forth. But
Mhm.
just remember, you don't have to keep going back and forth. You can just remove yourself from the situation like you were gonna do.
Yeah, and, I also feel like it's important to, change, not change, but, always make a point to get to know different people,
Yeah.
because I feel like my perspective has changed a lot based on, the people that I have chosen to, be around or chosen to become friends with, and they open my, eyes to a new perspective of life and also, a new
Definitely.
environment and everything, and sometimes that could be a way of you understanding, "Hey, I didn't like how I used to feel when I used to be friends with this person, or how I used to feel when I would always hang out with this person, or how this person ended up having an impact on my personality, or the way that I did things, or the way I work, my ethics, and all that other stuff." So I think also getting out there and just meeting new people is very important when it comes to just growing,
Yeah.
figuring out your circle, who you want your in your circle.
I think it could also be your setting as
Mhm.
well. I'm gonna say about me, I started off my freshman year at a high school. I went the whole freshman year, it just was not for me. It was not a good school year. It's probably one of the worst years of school that I've been through. So it was a very toxic environment for me. So I knew I had to make a change. It's very important for you to be self-aware when you're not in a good situation and when you need to get out of the situation before it turns into something else. So what I did was I just completely changed my route of you can go to a different school, you can do different things because it won't sometimes it couldn't just be one friend, but just the
Mhm.
environment that you're
Right.
in that you might have to change.
Definitely. And even people around you, I remember when I went to a certain high school or whatever, in the past, my parents noticed that there was I was changing. Like, you don't
Yeah.
usually act like that, or you don't usually say those things. And so sometimes people around you can notice before you do, that you're
Yeah.
changing, you're not the same person. And sometimes, we're like, hey, you don't understand me, or hey, this is just who I am. But it's good to also just recognize, hey, maybe this person isn't
Yeah,
having a good
be open
influence on
to
me.
other people's
Yeah,
opinions.
definitely. Because the people that truly love you and that truly know you and truly see you for you will tell you.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah. So how do you think people should go about picking friends?
Picking friends,
Yeah,
I would
or
say,
choosing people that they want to be
I
friends
mean, of
with.
course, there's like the personality test. You can take
Mhm.
personality test, but you probably know yourself the best.
Mhm.
I would say for me, sports. That's really how I sculpted my whole friendship, my whole life. Really, like it's just like I see those people I go to practice with basically every day. So of course you're gonna get to know them on a deeper level. You're gonna want to hang out with them. You're gonna want to do certain things with them. So that's how I brought my friendships. But
Mhm.
I would just say find something you like doing and find people who also like doing it and do it together.
So do you believe in hanging around people that are in a position that you want to be in as well?
Yes, I think I put this back into sports. Like I never want to be the best person on my team, honestly. I always want there to be someone better than me so I can push myself, not in a bad way to like
Mhm.
be better than that person, but to just push myself to be, more
On that same
competitive.
level.
Yeah, or on the
Yeah,
same
and I
level.
really do agree with that. I think maturing, I had to realize that sometimes it's really best or better to be friends with people
Yeah.
that are in a position that you want to be in a position the same position as, you know?
And not because you envy them or
Yeah,
anything,
not
but
because you
just
envy, but
because you
because you
want to,
want
yeah.
you they inspire you in a
Yeah.
way. And I feel like that with my best friend. She inspires me all the time. Like I feel like she's just amazing. She's super smart, she's super courageous, super kind, and being friends with her makes me feel like I want to push myself um to that, standard. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I want to push myself to that standard and I want to be more like her and everything like that. So I definitely think that when it comes to choosing friends, definitely go for the people that you see yourself in most, you know what I mean? Or that you want to see yourself be like more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know how they say like you never want to like be the good person in a bad group because the bad is more, likely to affect you than the
Definitely.
good you being the bad person, the good group, and the good people, affecting you. So I would say definitely just watch your surroundings and make sure you should not be the smartest one in the group. You should not, yeah, like just put yourself in a good position.
Yeah, and also I like the saying, your environment makes you, or is it like, wait, how does it go? You are what you are what you eat. No, it's you're a product of your environment, basically. I think that that's a really good saying because it's super super true. You basically absorb everything from your environment.
Yeah.
Like physically, mentally, and I feel like if you always surround yourself around people that are smart and kind and motivating, then you're going to end up being that person as well. That is super smart, kind, and motivating. But that's not to say that I think you should just drop your friends, if they're like at a very low time in their life or a very
Yeah.
low stage. But I do think that it's important to just be aware of it. Like, don't let it consume you as well.
But okay, also going to that, how do you think like the best way like to fight off peer pressure? Like say, yeah.
Peer pressure, I feel like you just have to have a very strong mind. You have to be very emotionally aware. Um, People that know themselves and are comfortable in their skin, it's kind of hard for them to be peer pressured, I would
Yeah.
say. But I've noticed people who are a little bit more weak minded or struggle to fit in or struggle to love themselves or struggle to be comfortable in their own skin, they're more likely to be peer pressured. And I think that's just something that personally needs to be worked on. Just words of affirmation
Yeah.
or telling yourself like I'm that girl, like I am this person, like I'm him, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it takes a level of practice and a level of therapy just for someone to become more strong-minded and immune to peer pressure.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely. And I also feel like sometimes growing up, it also has an effect on the way that you think about certain things or your ability to be peer pressured. And honestly, my advice for someone who is feeling like they suffer with that would just be to surround yourself around good people
Yeah.
that are going to peer pressure you into being like the best version of yourself, you know? Don't surround yourself around people who are going to peer pressure you into being a bad person.
Yeah.
Like if you know that you suffer with that, be around people who are going to push you to your fullest potential.
That is something that I'm not gonna say I suffer with it, but like, yeah,
Mhm.
I definitely had to fight the peer pressure battle, saying the fact that, like, but I would say for me, I knew what I had to do. Like,
Mhm.
I know what I go to school for, I know what I play soccer for. Like, just know who you are, figure out who you are, and that'll make your battle a lot more easier to
Yeah.
fight.
And don't be scared to speak up for
Yeah,
yourself ever. Always
definitely.
speak up for yourself. Open closed mouths don't get fed. And that's something I had to realize. Like seriously. I used to be a people pleaser. And so I used to be like very like what is it? What's the word? I used to suffer with peer pressure all the time. Like, I wanted to fit in really bad. I wanted people to like me. I wanted to like say yes to everything, say yes to everyone
Yeah.
and everything. I forgot where I was going with that. Gosh. Oh my gosh. But no, all that to say, just surround yourself around good people, guys. That's the most important thing. Listen to your parents. They know best. Cuz I'm telling you, they can spot a fake friend from a mile away. Like seriously. So listen to your parents. Get to know yourself, learn the things that you like, and once you learn things that you like, go and try to find other people who like the same things as you or have things in common as you, and you'll be in a good, circle and everything.
How would you say like your transition from middle school to high school was? You know how they say you're not gonna be the same friend group that you were in
Uh,
middle school? Like,
um, honestly, I don't think I'm not one to get like very, very attached to friends. Like I feel like with me and my friends, we can go days without talking, we can go months without talking, and if we talk again, then hey, we just talk again. Um, but I've always loved meeting new people, and I've always loved building or cultivating friendships with other people as well. So when it came to like outgrowing different friends from middle school or outgrowing friends from elementary school or high school, whatever, I never really suffered with it because I know I can always hit them up or call them anytime, and we can just talk, hang out, whatever. But I don't know. How do you feel about that?
in middle school, I mean, like I said, I kind of really only hung out with my soccer team in middle
Mhm.
school, so I really only had a limited like amount of friends. But at the same time, I had a very diverse group of friends. Like, if I like my all of my friends weren't in one friend group. Like, some of my friends stayed over here, some of my
Mhm.
friends stayed over here, some of my friends stayed over here. So I was just always like the type of person to just speak to everyone, like, "Hey, how are you doing?" Like, nicely. But I want to say like me and my best friend, we never really went to the same school, so I never really got to experience that. You won't be best friends with the person you were in middle school from high school, because we were friends in middle school and we are
Mhm.
still friends now. But I'm gonna just say like definitely be open to new people, but when you go into high school, there might be a lot of people trying to talk to you for different reasons, and it may not be the reasons that you think, or it may not be good intentions behind those reasons. But I would definitely say be open to meeting new friends instead of sticking with the same people. I'm not saying you have to get rid of them, but like, you can be
Yeah.
open to meeting new
And don't
people.
limit yourself to the amount of friends that you can have. Be friends with everybody, like
Definitely.
seriously. Cuz honestly, different people are great for different things. Like some
Spread your
friends can be your
kindness.
soccer friends, some friends can
Definitely.
be your math friends. Like I'm not so good at math, so I'm friends with her because she's really good at math, and she inspires me and she's a good person.
Yep.
Whatever. Like have a whole bunch of friends.
Yeah, I
Please.
definitely agree when it comes to that.
That's all. That's what life's about. Life's about meeting new people. Meet everybody. Go up to
Yeah.
everybody. See what you can learn from
I
everyone,
know, like, now some people may try to be like mysterious, but I've never
Don't
been
aura
like,
form, guys. Don't be
for
aura
real.
forming. Being mysterious.
I've never been that type of person. Like, I have to speak, I
Really?
have to say hi. Like, I just, yeah.
Grace is aura. I had a friend crush on Grace for so long, actually. I was like, I want to be her
Yes,
friend.
I do have friend crushes all the
Oh,
time. Like,
yeah.
y'all, like, when I tell y'all, if y'all see a girl and you like what she's doing, you like her, everything that is around her,
But she's
be her
tea.
friend.
Be
Make
her
your
friend.
make your effort to be her friend, because it will be worth it.
And hey, the worst that can happen is they're just like not the vibe and they're like, no,
Yeah,
whatever. Who cares? Move on.
exactly.
Like, at least you tried. But yeah. But anyways, guys, that'll be the end of this podcast episode. And if there's anything that you take away from this podcast, it would be to meet new people. It would be to not be afraid to outgrow people, and it'll also be to just learn yourself and learn to love yourself and don't fall into peer pressure. But
Thank you.
anyways, thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.